Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cop Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a fantastic day from wherever you are around the world. And welcome back to another Liverpool transfer news and gossip show for you guys this evening. Apologies, I am running late. Yes, the show was meant to be at 9 o'clock, and yes, I am running late. So I do deeply apologize for that. But guys, let me know how all of you are in the comment section down below as I quickly check something. There we go. But yeah, let me know how all of you are. Of course, it's been a couple of days since we've streamed, obviously, and hopefully all of you have had a fantastic weekend as well. Anyway, but of course, we're here to talk about the latest Liverpool transfer news and gossip, which again, it's an increasingly annoying. Looking at certain particular news, of course, even today we again we mentioned the fact that we could mention Jude Bellingham, we could mention a few things, but again we're not going to mention that in today's episode. But what we are going to mention, of course, is the news of Kelleher potentially being up for sale in the summer transfer window. Really want to know your guys' thoughts on this because again it's a maybe he could be on the summer window. Well, the chopping block then we could say, to maybe get funds up. Again, we'll talk more in depth about that. Of course, there is rumours as well suggesting that Liverpool are firmly interested in Mason Mount. Of course, Chelsea's Mason Mount, which again come out of the blue. But again, we'll get in more into that. In today's episode, we're going to also talk about Ryan Gravenberch as well, and the latest on him and a potential loan move that was getting spoken about last night on social media. And of course, we're going to mention about, well, and we're going to talk about as well, Nat Phillips potentially leaving the club with, of course, Reece Williams returning back from his Blackpool loan as well. So again, we will be speaking about all of that in tonight's episode as well. And anything, if you guys have seen anything or mentioned, then let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know, your thoughts on all of the stories in tonight's episode. Anyway, but let me get to the comments as well, saying Doug's in as well, saying I am not liking these Mason Mount rumours, says Doug as well. But we will get on to that in a moment. Is it a goal in the Newcastle game? No, it's not. Sell to buy club still. Yeah, very disappointing. Al, good seeing you as well, though, mate. Hashtag FSG out now, says Alan. Brian's in saying hi, Connor. Evening, folks, as well. Jungle says 418 well. If Kelleher goes, it has to be 100% option to buy back deal as well. Well, we'll get into the Kelleher situation at the well. Actually, we'll dive straight into it, as I do like to say, anyway. But if I can quickly get up, that's the wrong article. There we go. So again, you guys will know, and if you guys have seen on social media the last couple of days, in particular, if I quickly get up this article piece, anyway, if it wants to upload on my end as well. There we go. But as you can see, I've quickly gone down the wrong way. But as you can see by the headline, Liverpool may cash in on Kelleher to raise funds for Jude Bellingham move. Well, again, I will quickly get that bigger if it wants to go bigger, or StreamYard this slow today. There we go. Of course, Liverpool may cash in on Kelleher to raise funds for Bellingham move. Now, of course, this is quote tweeted. Oh, tweeted, no, quoted anyway. Apologies, guys, but I'm all over the place today. This is quoted from James Pearce. Obviously, of course, Caoimhin Kelleher has been a standing backup goalkeeper for Liverpool for several seasons, but rumours are circulating that the Irishman is planning a future away from the club in search of more first-team football, as reported in December. Liverpool's correspondent for The Athletic, James Pearce, has stated that Kelleher may be one player that Liverpool could offload, as the Reds need to generate funds for the potential big money signing of Jude Bellingham in the summer. Now, if you ask me, and in my personal opinion, again, I have plenty to say about this anyway. But again, this is what, again, just quoting it. Liverpool could look to sell Caoimhin Kelleher to free up funds to use for the transfer market, and that's coming from James Pearce as well. Obviously, James Pearce did mention a load more in his article on the Athletic on what Liverpool could potentially do. Of course, I think he spoke about Champions League, without Champions League, and so on, and did speak about many other different things. Of course, that's just taken out of context and taken as a a general senses of it. But I think there's two ways of looking at this Kelleher situation. I think one, if he wants more first team football, then fair enough in that regards. Of course, Alisson Becker is Liverpool's number one. That's it's no doubt about that. Ali is Liverpool's number one and will remain Liverpool's number one as well. But the fact that we've got such a good talent and really, and look, throughout Liverpool's, recent history, Kelleher has, well, potentially, I say potentially, Kelleher has won more penalty shootouts than any other goalkeeper in Liverpool history. And that's an amazing achievement when you think about it. I think it's like 4 or 5 he's won, being in the main 11. And I think that, again, he's left his own history on the club already at such a young age as well. And the fact that now we've got, we haven't had this for probably at any time throughout Liverpool. We haven't had, a number one goalkeeper where he's the best in the world and we call him the best in the world. And we've also had a young understudy that on his day is very, very good. And even, I know, a couple of people, I think last season or the season before, were saying, potentially Kelleher could even come in and have a run in the team. And when he has come into the team, he hasn't, been disappointed. He hasn't been a disappointment. He hasn't, done stupid things in the net like other Liverpool goalkeepers have done over the last, couple of seasons and so on as well. So for me personally, I think if he wants first team football, then fair enough. But if Liverpool are forcing him out to raise funds, then that is stupid. Absolutely stupid. Because of course, if we put our minds towards the summer, that means Kelleher's going to be going. That means Adrian's gone. I think we can pretty much agree that I think he wants to go to Spain at the moment. So you're left then with the young Brazilian lad. I'm struggling to think of his name right now. But you've got him. I think he's currently out on loan to a League Two team, I think, this season. But even still, you're then searching on the market for a number two that you don't need. You have a perfect number two in Kelleher, and it raises that funds up again situation of how much do Liverpool think that they can get for Kelleher? Do they think they can get around 25-30 million, which he should be around 35-40 million? Young good goalkeeper are hard to get by these days. You look at Nottingham Forest, for example, when they've got Dean Henderson on loan. Man United might want to try and call him back. There's a few other, situations like that. Maybe Forest might go after him. You don't know towards next season. You don't know who's going to be wanting a number one goalkeeper. And the thing is, as we know with someone like, we'll speak about in a bit about Nat Phillips, and that Liverpool will hold out for the highest estimate of the player. They will. We've seen season upon season of Nat Phillips getting quoted at 20 million, then 15 million, and people have gone, well, it's a bit too much for someone like Nat Phillips. And we know Liverpool have kept, that asking price. We haven't gone down at all. We haven't tried to bargain or anything like that. We've gone for, number one set price tag. And for me, I think it makes more sense to keep him at the club than it would to get rid of him. If we're talking about, releasing funds, for God's sake, 30 million quid shouldn't be this thing. I said this I think not the last video, because obviously the last video was the Chelsea, I think 2 videos ago when we were speaking about transfers. And I was saying to you guys, for me, if Liverpool are making up this excuse again of, oh, we need to recruit a couple of million if we're gonna splash big in the summer, no, you splash big and you leave it at that. Okay, try and recruit a couple of million on some deadwood players, but Kelleher's not that. He's a main 11 starter when Alisson's not there, and you never know when Ali could get injured, and then if Ali isn't there, it's so stupid. It's so stupid. Just go and splash the cash. Stop trying to recruit money where you don't need to. I think that's the thing. And to be fair, I think honestly it's ridiculous at the moment anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts anyway, because I think look, it's very frustrating. If Liverpool are genuinely considering getting rid of Kelleher, it would be a very 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 frustrating thing. I would say anyway. But and the one thing I will say as well, if Liverpool are looking at a replacement, I did have where's he to? There he is. Now I thought he was out of contract this summer, but he's not. He's out of contract next summer. And of course that is David Raya from Brentford. Now, could Liverpool go after him next summer? No, I don't think they could. I think obviously Brentford would be looking for a pretty good fee, around 15, 20 million, easy potentially with 1 year left in his deal to try and get money. Of course, Manchester United linked with him constantly as well. So again, I thought in particular he could potentially come as a free, but again, looking on transfer market, it does look like that he is out of contract next summer, not this summer. So again, that's bad on my part, but again, if you're looking at number two goalkeepers with quality, there isn't many on the market. I would say, especially around, that, especially around that cheap market. Then, if you want to call it that, if you're getting good quality, again, there isn't much there. To be fair, anyway. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. But it will be interesting to know your guys' thoughts. Let me quickly go back. There we go. Alan says, if Kelleher goes, let's be 100% option to my back. I read that one. Brian says, yeah, I'm not buying that Mount story as well. We will get onto the Mount story as well. Why is Jesus' name will we be selling? Why in Jesus' name will we be selling Kelleher? Albert, I think I just mentioned that. It's not the best, is it? That is a stupid thing I have heard as well. Yeah, absolutely. Selling Kelleher is madness. I feel sad as well. To me, honestly, it's laughable at the moment. It's very, very laughable. Kelleher leaving makes sense. Too good not being playing first team football. Stories about that in Ireland for 2 years now as well. I think even Kelleher mentioned it, didn't he? The fact that Liverpool and him have had conversations summer upon summer and nothing's really materialized from that. Of course, it's just we'll keep you for one more summer or two more summers, and then we'll have the same conversation again. And it's like I said, if he wants to leave, if he wants first team football, then fair enough. Because again, he's made his own history at Liverpool Football Club. Like I said, he's got the most penalty shootout wins by a goalkeeper in Liverpool history. Which again, you look at that history wall. You've got the training facility for goalkeepers. Again, he's on that without a shadow of a doubt. So again, if he wants to, if he him personally wants to leave Liverpool, then there you go. And again, it's a question then of where does he go? To be fair, I think someone's just mentioned in the comments about Raya going to Spurs. Kelleher to Spurs potentially. I think Kelleher's miles better than Lloris. I don't think that's a mad thing to say either. What else do we have? Kelleher leaving makes sense. I already read that one out. 1882 Reds TV. Hello, Luca Ricky. Says, ridiculous. We still have to generate funds. Yeah, absolutely. I think Mount would be a good player for us. Would suit Klopp's style as well. I think people are 50-50 on it. I think people are. Anyway, we'll talk about Mason Mount in a little bit. We took in 710 million FSG out now, says Doug. Evening late because I was actually listening to Wayne Rooney's DC United team talk. It was pretty good. Have to have a look at that. Elsko said, "Don't worry, we were late ourselves today anyway." But that could be worse though. Could be Everton Football Club. Yes, yes, Luke. We could be Everton Football Club. Again, what a mad 24 hours it's been for the Ev, mind. Frank Lampard gets sacked. Rumours coming out about Bielsa and Dyche and two or three other managers. Then Danjuma buggers them off for Spurs, and now the club's up for sale. What? Like what an unbelievable 24 hours it is for Everton Football Club. Do you know what? I absolutely love it. Yeah, I absolutely love it. And long may it continue as well. And by the way, if Bielsa gets the job, Everton are guaranteed to go down. I don't know why on earth they are not going after Sean Dyche. Look, at the end of the day, you need to stay in the Premier League. Who's the one manager that's done it consistently for Burnley before he got sacked? Again, Sean Dyche. I genuinely didn't get that, if I'm being honest with you. I mean, Bielsa. I think even Bielsa called the team too weak or too slow, something like that. Or, got quoted saying that. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure. He definitely said that anyway. But Albert saying, "What if Alisson gets injured?" Again, that's the worry. We've had the best keepers for years. Lad Rayner, Dudek, Carson. Yeah, for God's sake. Bring back Brad Jones. Jesus Christ. You're really on it today, aren't you guys? For God's sake, bring back Brad Jones. Oh yeah, there we go. There's the Brazilian lad. I'm not going to pronounce his name because again, I will absolutely butcher it. Marcus Field, he's with us. Thank you, Doug, for that. I couldn't remember who he was playing with as well. But Andrew says, "Oh, Newcastle have just got 1-0 up." I really hope we get Jude this summer. Also, the Brazilian is as well. Yeah, absolutely. Bring back Donny to freaking hell, idiot. If Queen wants to leave, is the story I hear. Then get the best price and let him go. I think the best price would be 35 mil. Maybe you could get for him. Like I'm going back to what we sold Danny Ward to Leicester for, and we sold him for 12.5 million, and that was before. Was it before the Neymar transfer or during the Neymar transfer or something like that? It was around then, and I think obviously money was a little bit. You could work a little bit with it. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe around 30-35 mil. What else do we have? Connor, have you got hair? I do have hair. It's all over the place today. So yeah, I do look bald outside, which I'm not. But yeah, I didn't put gel in my hair, or I don't even use gel. It was like clay stuff, and I just didn't today. So yeah, I do have hair. It's just all over the place right now. I look like an emo at the moment. So again, I apologize, chat. Today was just a very chill day, and then I forgot I was streaming. So again, I apologize for everything tonight anyway. But if he wants to go, then for sure. But if not, no way, even if he's worth millions, says El Scouser as well. David Raya and Kelleher are too good to be number 2 goalkeepers. Yeah, I would agree. But when we're talking about scenarios like that, and Southampton have just scored. Jesus Christ, that game's going off. But when we're talking about number 2 goalkeepers and the level that Kelleher's at, yeah, I think you're looking around that ballpark, in my opinion. But again, they are too good to be number 2s. But the problem is for Liverpool, Adrian's going to be going on a free transfer. I think that's a guarantee. That Adrian will be going at the end of the season. So again, it swings around about, to be fair, but Raya is better than Kelleher. Whether he takes a step down as a number 2 is another thing as well. It will be interesting though, because he is currently rejecting a new deal at Brentford, and that Manchester United rumor keeps on coming up whenever, like I was looking on transfer market, and the Man United potential transfer is the highest on his profile. So again, I don't know in particular whether or not that would particularly happen. I'm not entirely sure, but a solid backup keeper should be easy to find, in my opinion. Hundreds all over Europe we never heard of, as well as Brian. Yeah, exactly. And look, I've only taken about 10 minutes of looking at players that could be available, and so forth. So again, there is plenty of goalkeepers out there, but again, I'll leave Jurgen Klopp and the transfer committee to sort it out, not me. Anyway, Pickford Spurs top target. Is he really? Why? What? Why? He's such a bad goalkeeper. Kelleher is leagues above Lloris. I agree, 1,000%. What do we have? Can't really blame Kelleher if he wants to leave for first team football. No, you can't, and that's the thing. Yeah, in my opinion, I think that Kelleher has been phenomenal for Liverpool. He could have kicked up first. He could have kicked up a lot more um, in wanting first team football, but he's done brilliantly at Liverpool, and I hope that he goes on if he does leave Liverpool and you know wins wins a spot at the big team. Um, Maybe a Spurs, maybe someone else in the Premier League. I'm not entirely sure. Um, but again, I'm looking at the league. Who needs a number one goalkeeper at the moment? You don't know, do you? On Doug's channel, it was said Mount is on 300k a week. Nope, not a hope as well. I think he is on something like that. We'll get onto it in a brief moment anyway. Imagine imagine picking Pickford over Raya. Total Spurs to that actually as well. Yeah, no, absolutely. Pickford plays from the back, and the way Spurs play suits. To be honest, Pickford is good goalkeeper. He's an okay goalkeeper. He's not a good goalkeeper. I could definitely tell it's Luke, because Luke's like Pickford's number one for England. I can guarantee this is Luke, because again, Pickford's his number one for England, when realistically it should be Nick Pope, or Ramsdale, just anyone rather than Pickford. To be fair though, Pickford has done quite good for England in the past, but Newcastle have scored, and as the boy said, cheers Jeff. Cheers, Jeff. Yeah, but Raya is probably as good as anyone with his feet. He's not exactly Lampard as well, absolutely. I'd rather have those special nights in the League Cup, than 35 million. Exactly, absolutely. What else we have? Southampton have equalised. I think it's got chalked off, hasn't it? To be fair, yeah, it's just got chalked off. I wonder why. We know. As much prefer an older second choice goalkeeper, Sergio Romero, type full international, lots of experience, but happy to be second choice. Just my preference as well. Yeah, exactly. I think there's two ways around it. Again, if you can get a goalkeeper that is happy enough to be on the bench, knows that, of course, Alisson is number one goalkeeper, and then you look at, where could potentially, where would you find that person or age or something like that? Because again, Liverpool, we've spoken about, 200, 250 million. We're all speaking about that, about the midfield. There are certain elements of the squad that needs it. And if Gallagher was to go, then again, and there's no guarantee to say that he is going to be leaving Liverpool in the summer. But at the moment, when that comes out, and when you're like, oh yeah, Kelleher might be the main resource for funds, it's so frustrating saying that. But it's that factor. If that is the case already, then Jesus Christ, Liverpool are thinking about it, or Kelleher's already thinking about it, in that regard anyway. But imagine replacing Lloris with Pickford as well, says Hannah as well. A rumour target for number two keeper is Ron Robert Zila, is that how you pronounce it, Doug? From Hangover 96 as well. I've seen his name on FIFA, and Timo Horn as well. I've seen Timo Horn mentioned, was also mentioned as well. Yeah, I've seen Timo Horn. I think, was Arsenal interested in him back 4 or 5 years ago? I think before they got Leno, and obviously I think uh, the team that we bought Karius from? I can't think who we bought Karius from, but doesn't he play for them? Or someone like that. So if you heard of his name anyway, around. But Kelleher is too good to sit on the bench. He's always going to want playing first full time somewhere as well. Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's the thing. And like I said, chat, if he wants to go and he wants first team football, then fair enough. But if Liverpool are forcing him out to look for another club just to generate funds, then that's a massive no-no. And again, if that is the case, I don't know why. Um, Doug, I'm not even going to entertain that comment as well. But wait, actually, let me double check which just someone. I could, yeah, no. Yeah, no, absolutely not. Anyway, but we will move on then to talk about Mason Mount. Now, this is a bit of a wild one. I'm not going to lie to you guys anyway, but according to 442, that Liverpool are interested in signing Mason Mount. Now, again, Ben Jacobs as well have also come out and said that Liverpool have genuine interest in a summer move for Mason Mount. Now, when I thought and when I looked at this originally, I was like, oh, he's out of contract in the summer. Might be something there if he is out of contract. But 1 year left on his deal, I do think this is a ploy by Chelsea or Mason Mount's team to potentially get him a huge luxury contract. Now, I think with bonuses, I think Doug was right with in saying that he is on 300k per week, which again would take him around that Mo Salah end of the spectrum. Which at the end of the day, Liverpool aren't going to be giving that type of money away quite easily. And if Liverpool, obviously Jurgen Klopp will be an admirer of him. We've heard that plenty of times throughout, each and every single summer or something like that. But and I was speaking to Jack off camera about this as well. It has the style of an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain situation where he's in the last year of his deal. Arsenal were offering Ox a contract, didn't go for it, and then it ended up then being okay. He wants to join Liverpool, join Jurgen Klopp and the project, and blah blah blah. Now that might be the case for Mason Mount, but for me, I do think this is a little bit of a ploy by Mason Mount's team to go, oh, we've got interest or significant interest from Liverpool. Can you match or this demand? Blah blah blah, and try and force Chelsea's hand, which big players and big teams do. That's just the way things go, unfortunately. And for me, and in my personal opinion, I don't think Liverpool are going for Mason Mount whatsoever. Would he suit Jurgen Klopp's style of play? Potentially. Again, I don't really know Mason Mount's best position. Obviously, he is an attacking midfielder, centre mid. I think he can even play right mid and left mid as well. I think he has done that for Chelsea at times. But for me, when you're looking at price in particular, 1 year left on his deal, Chelsea Football Club, they will be asking 40, 50 million pounds minimum for Mason Mount quite easily. And like I said, if it is that case that he does have a £300,000 per week contract, that's a massive no-no for Liverpool. And with him being a 24-year-old player as well, will not want to reduce that at all. So then, what happens then? I think quite obviously he's going to sign a new contract at Chelsea. There's obviously been reports as well, and I believe 442 even said in that little article as well, where Liverpool were being mentioned in the same bracket. I do think that Liverpool are just being used for contract purposes, and I do also think that there is a potential deal already there for Mason Mount at Chelsea. But the way things are going at Chelsea at the minute, they could just let him go and then they'll replace him with a £100 million striker, £100 million midfielder, like they're currently trying to do with Enzo Fernandez at the moment. Anyway, of course, if you guys have seen the news, that I think Chelsea have gone back in for Enzo Fernandez as well, which is ridiculous. And do I think that will Do I think it'll happen? No, absolutely not. I think with all the rumours going around the club at the moment, I don't think Mason Mount will be joining Liverpool anytime soon. I think Bruno Camara's just been sent off for Newcastle as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts anyway on Mason Mount. For me, no, it's not happening. I don't see him joining Liverpool. I definitely don't see Liverpool paying 300 odd K a week for his services, if I'm being perfectly honest, as well. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments down below, because I do very much want to know your guys' thoughts as well. But what else do we have? Hannah says we can put in a buyback clause. Surely, I think we would if that was to happen with Kelleher as well. Brian says if we could get 60 million or thereabouts for Kelleher and Curtis Jones, I'm selling. You do need to sell players. You do, but not when you're trying to rebuild at the minute, Bry. I would say anyway. I don't think the problem is at the moment Liverpool we're talking about rebuild and we're talking about the midfield. That is the main priority of the summer by the looks of things. But again, people from the club have said this before, and obviously it hasn't gone on to happen. And once again, I do think Liverpool are keeping, apart from Jude Bellingham, that story is what it is. Again, could have clickbaited tonight and so forth with the stories and everything that's coming out, which again is old news. It isn't anything new when it comes to Jude Bellingham. But apart from that, I think everything else is Liverpool are keeping quite close to their chest in what they're doing, because apart from Jude Bellingham, nobody knows what Liverpool are planning. Of course, we know Matthias Nunes is an option, but even the reliable journos like Neil Jones has mentioned it. I think obviously foreign reporters mention it in terms of Florian Plintenberg and Christian Falk have mentioned that Liverpool are after at least 3 midfielders next summer, and so forth. Which Jude Bellingham, Matthias Nunes, who's the next one? Nobody has a clue on what it could be as well. And when you are rebuilding, I think at the moment Jones. I think Curtis Jones, the most that will happen with him, I think, will be a loan. I don't think he'll be sold. And then Kelleher, who knows? But I disagree with that. I think Liverpool have to spend. We can't be looking at spending, let's say, 250 million and then trying to recoup that all summer long. We can't be doing that. It's so stupid to do it. Again, we do it every single summer. Like, look at last year, we bought Darwin Nunes, and then we tried to recoup that money with Mane going, Minamino going, who else? Neco Williams going as well. There were so many players that left the club just to bring in the funds of what we spent. And again, it's frustrating in that sense as well. But I think Liverpool just have to spend money. We're so far. I think we're so far in the green in terms of FFP. Like, it makes total sense for Liverpool to just go and splash the cash. But again, that's a whole nother video in itself anyway. But I don't think anyone would be happy with Mount as well. I wouldn't with the terms of the money scenario and that, to be fair. Mount would be looking at for crazy money as well. Yeah, absolutely, Hannah. Also agreed about Mason Mount using us to get a bigger deal for Chelsea as well. Yeah, I think he is 100%. It's a common tactic, like you hear from the like, if you go on a random website, so let's say Goal, for example, from Neil Jones or whatever, Liverpool will be linked with so many players just to get at people's interest or something like that. It's like similar with who was it? I think like Saicedo, for example. The reports obviously for the longest time linking us with Saicedo, and then was it last week or 2 weeks ago there was a report saying that Liverpool have like started negotiations to get Saicedo in. And then Chelsea supposedly bid 55 million, and now I think even today, I think Brighton have come out and said unless it's 100 million for Caicedo, we're not selling him at all. Which again, 100 million for Moises Caicedo is wow, a very big wow. 300k a week as well. Haaland as well. Yeah, he is on 300k a week. I hate Mount, but it's probably transmitted as well. No, absolutely. My preference for a number two goalkeeper is someone that's not happy to be a number two goalkeeper and prepared to push Alisson for the starting place. However, unlikely that they would be able to move ahead as well, says Philip as well. Yeah, I think that's probably the best type of goalkeeper you want. Um, to push Ali. And if Ali isn't at his best, then you can move that goalkeeper in. But again, at the minute, Alisson's fantastic. At the moment, he's probably the only Liverpool player that's been on that level this season. It's absolutely about a new deal at Chelsea. No surprise. The first time it came out was the day before the Chelsea game this weekend. Yeah, no, exactly. I think Brighton actually come out. I think 3 or 4 days before the game, and Chelsea fans were like, "Oh yeah, we're still confident you'll sign a new deal." I was like, to be fair, it's only Liverpool linked to him. And I think as Liverpool fans are like, yeah, we're not buying Mason Mount. We don't want Mason Mount in that regards anyway. And I think pretty much people, like I said, I think people are using Liverpool just to get a better deal. Anyway, but 300k a week, no chance. Stay clear as well, absolutely. Alisson as well. I think that's with the comment on early on from Phil. Collector card, not Bruno anyway. Oh, it was collector card, was it? That went off. That's been sent off. Oh, there we go. I thought it was Bruno Guimaraes because the way he was going off the pitch. But again, I'm not really watching the game, obviously. I don't think we would pay 300k for Kevin De Bruyne. Never mind Mount, says John. Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've done it with Mo, so there's a way around it at least anyway. But yeah, not the best, is it, at the moment, chat? And to be fair, that's pretty an accurate comment there from Jungle. That is probably Liverpool's way. Yep, nope, we're not going to spend 300k a week on Kevin De Bruyne. Just leave it there. Jones and Kelleher could end up funding 50 million towards Nunes. I think that's Matthias Nunes. I'm fine with that. It's how FSG will operate as long as they're here as well. Yeah. And the big question is, how long are they here? That's the big question, isn't it? Recoup part of it. It's what we do, unfortunately, but I'm not expecting a new FSG as well. That's the thing, isn't it? And I think plenty of people have asked the same question when I'm talking about Jude Bellingham. I'm like, oh yeah, Liverpool are 100% going after Jude Bellingham, and obviously Florian Plintenberg today saying Liverpool are nailed on favourites to get Jude Bellingham now, and so on. And again, we're told the same stories yet again. If the money's there, Liverpool will get Jude Bellingham. The only problem is, will the money be there for Jude Bellingham? I don't know. It's really freaking frustrating to talk about as well. What we have? I'd love Mount at Liverpool, to be honest, as well. I don't know. I think some people are 50-50, aren't they? In particular, but I wouldn't buy him for a huge amount of money. But if we could get him cheap at this window, for sure, he can't change our midfield as well. At the minute, nothing can do at the minute, Brendan, as well. It's very rare things can change our midfield at the minute. But breaking news: can we ban Doug, please? Doug, I have the power to ban mods, so cut out the bad jokes. Doug with the dad jokes as well. That's a bad joke. Not a good joke. That's a bad joke. Anyway, but we'll move on then, and we'll move to another midfielder that's been linked with Liverpool, and of course that is Ryan Gravenberch. Today obviously. He got mentioned last night on social media, which again, social media being social media, putting two and two together. But again, Ryan Gravenberch from Bayern Munich, the link was there reporting that he could potentially be an option on loan for Liverpool for 6 months. But it has come out from Florian Plettenberg saying it's decided, and no doubt he has to stay at Bayern Munich. No transfer in January within the club. They still believe in him. A loan to Liverpool or to any other club is no topic as well, which I know this let a lot of fans disappointed, um, because again, Ryan Gravenberch was, I think, linked with Liverpool at the back end of last summer before he did eventually sign, I think, for 14 million, something around there for Bayern Munich, which again I thought was a pretty good deal. But again, he hasn't had a concrete place in the team as of yet at Bayern Munich. So a lot of rumours last night suggesting that Liverpool could get him on a loan deal. But again, that's been quickly denied by Florian Plettenberg, saying that there is no chance that he will be joining Liverpool on loan or any other club in January, at least anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts, because I did think it was a little bit interesting. And could even been a proper option for Liverpool. But again, it's that sense of, you know, a loan deal yet again seems to be the only option or the only way Liverpool are going to get anything at the moment over the line. But again, it's something or nothing at the moment anyway. But we're also and we're also now going to move on and speak about the last story of today, at least anyway. We're going to talk about Nat Phillips, of course, and his potential exit to Liverpool, out of Liverpool Football Club. Anyway, of course, Reece Williams has returned from his loan spell at Blackpool that he has been for half the season so far, and of course it's spiraled that Nat Phillips is finally going to be leaving Liverpool Football Club anyway, but there's been no concrete offers at the moment. There's rumours that Burnley are the favourites to sign Nat Phillips, which could be a loan with an option to buy in the summer. I think it was also mentioned that Southampton Southampton, Burnley, and Bournemouth are the clubs that are most interested in Nat Phillips as well. So again, where could you see Nat Phillips go? Obviously, last season went out on loan to Bournemouth. Got promotion with Bournemouth. And obviously Bournemouth tried to get him on a loan deal for this season, but was unfortunate enough not to get him because I think Liverpool kept him because of the injury crisis that we had at the club with centre backs at the start of the season, at least anyway. So potential move for Nat Phillips. Where would be his best club? I'd like him to get another promotion with Burnley potentially, and if he could work under Vincent Kompany at Burnley, I think that would be a pretty decent signing for him, to be fair. I think his stats last season, I think he only played 5 months of Championship football, and he was by far the best centre back in the Championship, which again proves he is a Premier League level centre half. And I think if Nat Phillips had pace, I think he would be worth around 30, 40, 50 million. The problem is Nat Phillips isn't the most pacey centre half. But again, if you want anyone to header through a brick wall, I think Nat Phillips is the perfect centre back for that club anyway. But I do think that Burnley would be the best option for him at the moment. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts in particular. But I do think it is interesting the fact that we have brought back Reece Williams, obviously with Virgil van Dijk being out injured and potentially could even be out till after the Real Madrid game. Of course, having centre backs there is a massive option and a massive key for Liverpool this season anyway, especially when you're playing and relying on Canate, Gomez, and Matip to be fully fit until Virgil's back. Isn't the best, is it, chat? Either, to be fair. But Hannah says, I don't watch much Bayern or Bundesliga, so I don't know a lot about this guy as well. I think Gravenberch I think he's 19, isn't he, chat? Again, box to box midfielder. looks decent on paper, but again, obviously it's a no-go when it comes to Ryan Gravenberch anyway. His agent was at Anfield on Saturday. Did see this rumour, but nothing concrete. When I was searching the news anyway, didn't find any concrete person saying it. Just saw a couple of Twitter accounts going, "Oh yeah, his agent was at Anfield on Saturday." So I don't know in particular. What else do we have? Brian says, I think the Bellingham price may be lower than expected. It won't be 150 million. If it was going that way, I don't. We would be talking as a yeah destination. Yeah, for me, I think he's going to go definitely over 100 mil. The thing is, they want between 130 and 150 million euros. That's the rumored price tag. For me, I think Liverpool will get him. I think the set price will be 100 million euros plus whatever it is and whatever else in euros. So 20 million, 25 million, 30 million euros in add-ons. Again, the Bellingham deal is going to be the most maddest transfer going. And at the moment, the two clubs, obviously with Liverpool having no investment, if whatever offer Liverpool can put up, excuse me, bloody hell, I was going to burp then. Madrid and City can match whatever Liverpool put on the table. It is just up to Jude Bellingham where he wants to go. Liverpool, City, Madrid. For me, I think he'll pick Liverpool. But again, things can change. And he may go, bugger that midfield, bugger this team. I'm off to freaking Madrid. He might do that. But again, don't know in particular. Anyway, but imagine FSG next September trying to get our net spend back to 11 mil. Jesus Christ, it's going to be horrific, isn't it? Dan from Turf Morehouse TV is on tomorrow with me. I'll ask his thoughts on that. Phillips as well. I think he'll definitely go to Burnley as well. But again, will a loan with a permanent option to buy, is that something Burnley will be interested in? I'm not particularly sure. Anyway, but Albert saying we will pay 100 million for Jude, and he's worth every penny as well. Yeah, I would agree. 1,000% I would agree. Get Jude Bellingham in this Liverpool team anyway. But that is all for tonight. Anyway, guys, big massive thank you for tuning in to tonight's show. If you guys have missed any of the stories, then please head back or on the video, or again we'll run through anyway a few things that we have spoken about in tonight's episode. Of course, we've spoken about Caoimhin Kelleher and the potential option of him. Of course, could potentially be sold next summer to potentially gain funds for the transfer window, and of course, with him potentially looking for first team football as well. We've also spoken about Mason Mount and supposedly Liverpool's interest in Mason Mount. Of course, Ben Jacobs mentioning the fact that Liverpool have genuine interest in a summer move for Mason Mount. Like I said, though, I do think it is something that Mason Mount's team is working towards to try and get him a better deal at Chelsea at the moment anyway. But we'll soon see. Of course, we've spoken about Ryan Gravenberch as well, and that loan deal not happening whatsoever, according to Florian Plintenberg, saying it's a decision, it's done. He will not leave Bayern Munich in January for any type of loan deal. And again, we've spoken about Nat Phillips potentially leaving the club and Reece Williams returning back on from his loan spell from Blackpool as well. Anyway, for you guys. But before we do head off, let's read the last few comments of the video as well. It's worth every penny. Doug saying 839 now, Connor. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Thank you for subscribing. Like Doug said, subscribe if you are new. Let's get Connor to 1K. If we could, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and again, massively appreciate all the support as well. If you guys are not checking out the TikTok as well, we do upload clips of news episodes or anything like that, of course, and we do upload press conferences on the shorts as well. Anything interesting that Jurgen says, or anything interesting that anything happens as well, make sure you check the shorts out. Make sure you check the TikTok out. It's all in the video description down below, all of that good stuff as well. So thank you very much for all the likes, shares, subscribes. Thank you very much for all of it. Anyway, I should say, but I'm still not convinced he's every penny, but of course he'd be good at signing. He's not the only one. No, Philip, but again, he is bloody worth it. I'm telling you this now. Jude Bellingham is 1,000% worth it for Liverpool Football Club. Phillips deserves the team to play more as well. Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think Burnley would be the perfect team for him. And yeah, I think he will definitely do brilliant work at Burnley if he was to go there. But again, there's different rumored clubs. Yeah, I think even Benfica was mentioned as well to potentially be interested in him. But again, as soon as anything, as soon as we know anything or anything comes out, we'll let you guys know straight away. Anyway, but guys, thank you very much for tuning in to tonight's show. If you haven't already, like I said, please hit that like button, please hit the subscribe button as well. If you're new around here, we'll hopefully be back tomorrow. Anyway, if there is any new shows or anything like that, we'll be live straight away to bring it to you guys. Anyway, but until then, I've been Connor from the Cop Council. I'll see you all then. Ta-ra.